Okay, thank you Raj for taking the time to speak to me today about the Monopoly Board charity walk that we did back in October of last year. So tell me how this all started.
Well, I was thinking of something different to do for children in need. I've been doing children in need for a while now, for a few years, so I wanted to do something a bit different this time. So I was thinking about it in great detail, and I was sitting at work having a cup of tea one day, and the mug which I had was a picture of one of the boards on the
one of the squares
on the Monopoly board, which said "Go to jail" on it, and I looked at it and I thought, why don't we do that? Maybe do like a Monopoly board walk. So that's how
that's what inspired you.
That's how it came out. Yeah, that's how the idea came about.
What events have you organised in the past, and were they successful in the same way this was?
Car washes, football tournaments, sponsored walks, where we used to walk from Coventry to Nuneaton and back. So yeah.
I gather this one raised the most money then, or didn't it?
Yeah, I'd have to say so.
More people involved this time.
More people involved.
Okay.
And raised quite a bit.
I'd just like to go on to the planning side of the event now.
Yeah.
The charity walk. What did you do in the way of the planning itself, and what help was offered?
The planning was mainly around making sure what type of route we were going to take, with obviously some of the squares on the board, because obviously it covers quite a large part of London. Various ones are situated in central London, West London, and then you've got some which are a bit further out. So it was trying to logistically work out which ones are probably the ones furthest to do first.
So I gather there was no order in the board itself. It wasn't the order of the board.
So we didn't. Yeah. So logistically, we couldn't do it in the order of the board. So we couldn't go Old Kent Road, Whitechapel, because logistically it would have meant that it just would have been too long doing it that way. So we had to logistically do it in the way that maybe doing the ones most further away to West London, to the town, doing those first, and then coming in and then finishing in the centre in West London, which is obviously a lot better than trying to do it the other way.
Yeah, and I mean obviously transport would have been involved at some point in the day. I mean, you don't walk from North London to South London in that respect. So
yeah, we couldn't. Obviously, we had to do it by a bit of walking and getting on the tubes. So obviously, the best thing to do, what we thought, was maybe just leave the vehicle, the minibus, at the hotel, and then from there on in, it was making sure we just get tubes back and forth, and it was a fair bit of walking involved as well. So yeah.
Tell me, Raj, how did you go about recruiting the team itself?
I didn't actually recruit the team. I mean, there were one or two people who have been involved with a lot of charity work with myself over the last few years. So naturally, I asked them straight away, and I knew they'd say, yeah, we're happy to do that, and that was fine. They were on board straight away. So the rest. It was just word of mouth. People were at work were mentioning that, oh, I hear you're doing this, and yeah, I'd be happy to do it, and that's basically what happened. A lot of people came to me. I didn't have to email out to the whole of the floor and say, look, this is what I'm doing. People just came to me and said, oh, I heard you're doing this, so yes, I'd love to do it.
Just wanted to get involved.
They just wanted to get involved, and yeah, so that's how it came about. So and then before I knew it, there was suddenly 14, 15 people wanted to do this thing.
And it wasn't just Severn Trent employees, it was a couple of friends.
There was a couple of friends from before, who I knew from where I used to work before, and they obviously they were quite excited by the idea. And then what became apparent was that more and more people were coming to me saying, I want to do this, and I had to put a stop to it because we just had too many people. So we even had a cancellation list, would you believe?
Yeah, I do remember actually.
To say to people, well, if anybody drops out, then yes, we'll put you down. And so it just became, it just snowballed really, all of a sudden.
Okay, Raj, tell me about the walk itself. Did it go to plan, basically?
Yeah, it went to plan because we made sure we covered every piece on the board. So, yeah, it did go to plan.
Okay. Is there anything else you would have done differently in the event, in the planning of the event itself?
No, I don't think I would, because I did state to everyone that we need to be leaving here 6 in the morning. I was a bit worried because I thought maybe one or two people...
Was there any late people?
No.
There wasn't?
No, so we were all... We left on time, and so everything pretty much went to plan in that respect.
And I can remember the weather on the day. We couldn't ask for a better day, really, could we?
Yeah, we were very lucky, very, very fortunate, because obviously we were obviously out all day, and we just hoped that the heavens didn't open. So we were really lucky, we were really fortunate, and we had really good weather. The sun was shining all day, so.
Okay. Raj, tell us about the Bridge CAF visit. Not the greatest success according to a few of the team members. How do you feel about that?
Well, I just thought it'd be a good idea to go to the CAF because it was literally 10 minutes walk from the hotel we were staying at, and I thought it'd be a good idea to see this CAF, which is quite a popular CAF, quite a famous CAF because it's featured in The Apprentice, and I thought it'd be good for the guys to go and have a look at it, and maybe just have a bacon sarnie before they start. So I don't remember them mumbling at the time, but you know, you can't please everybody all the time. So.
Okay, Raj. Bit of a funny question to be asking here now, but it needs to be asked, I suppose. Is there anyone you would prefer not to have had on the team if you were to organise this type of charity event again, and why?
Obviously, while we were doing the walk, there were 1 or 2 people who were moaning, probably thinking about whether it was a good idea at the time. And I remember one particular person coming up to me and saying to me on the Caledonian Road, which was a long walk from King's Cross, I believe, to the Pentonville prison. And I remember this person saying to me, Raj, I think really you need to review this because I don't think we're going to complete it. And I said to them, well, you seriously need to think about whether you want to complete it or not, but I think, as far as I'm concerned, we are still going to complete it, but I think then you'll have to answer to your sponsors when you get back, when they turn around to you and say, did you complete it? And if you say no, they're not going to be impressed because they're handing some money over to you. So.
Okay. Okay, Raj, how much did you raise for Children in Need at the end of the day?
We raised, I think it was nearly £1,800. Yeah, it's about that.
Quite good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Quite a big amount.
Okay. Anything else you'd like to say before we
No. I was just glad that it proved a success. Everybody had a lot of fun doing it, and I think that's primarily what it's about. Because I always believe that if you're doing stuff for charity, then it's great. Okay, you're raising a bit of money, but it has to be fun. It has to be an element of fun involved, and I had a lot of fun doing it. It was a great challenge, and I think a lot of other people did too. Probably not while they were doing it, but
it was a challenge for one or two of us, I can tell you.
Yeah.
Still got black nails on my feet, on my toes now,
but it was
to this day.
It was
And
good fun.
as Liam Roper once said, that legend, that is Anne Barlow. She managed to do it.
Yeah, Anne was great fun. A lot of people did say to me before the event that, are you sure you know what you're taking on? It's a challenge enough doing the board, but you're taking Anne Barlow. But Anne was great, she was brilliant.
She was almost in tears when she could see the hotel at the end of the day.
Yeah,
I remember that.
She was great. No,
Okay.
she was great.
Right, okay, Raj.
Great bunch.
Excellent. Thank you very much for taking the time to speak to me. Really appreciate it.
No problems.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, mate. Well, now hang on. Do you want to just?
Thank you, Raj, for taking the time to speak to me today about the boardwalk.
Hey, it's no problem. Well, I've been involved in a lot of charities over the years, and and yes, there we are. No, I've been involved in some charities in the past, so I just wanted to do something different this time. So I thought, let's do the Monopoly Boardwalk.
That's good.
I think obviously we're going to have to cut this bit out.
Is there a charity for you?
It's very daunting looking at these two cameras. You're making me laugh.
No.
No, sorry. Come on. What was the next question?
How you recruited the team, actually? Put a gun to their head or something.
Have you seen Goodfellas?
Yeah.
It was a bit like that. The walk went to plan. I had one or two people who obviously, like in any other project you have, were a bit of a nightmare. One in particular, Nick Allen, he was a bloody nightmare. But
Okay.
apart from him, we were okay.
Anything else you'd like to say before we end? Plug my video if you want to.
I'd just like to say that I'm sorry that Raj couldn't be here today, but we do have a video link to him from his home in Los Angeles, where I believe I can hear in my earpiece that he's via satellite. We can hear him now. Bear with me.